Okay, this is file 24-21908-FH, People of the State of Michigan versus Timothy Lee Bettis. We are here today for sentencing on a probation violation in this case, and we are proceeding today by video conference. Ms. Underwood, would you like to place your appearance on the record?
Ron Underwood for Mr. Bettis this morning.
And sir, you are Timothy Lee Bettis?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bettis, this is sentencing in a felony case. As a result that you have the right to be present in person here in the courtroom for the sentencing hearing. I would only continue by video conference today if you were willing to waive that right and continue by Zoom. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir. I'd like to continue.
Okay. Have you had an opportunity to read and review your probation violation recommendation report?
I have.
Have you had an opportunity to discuss that with Ms. Underwood?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with Ms. Underwood and the advice that she's given you?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any of the information that is in your probation violation report?
Other than, Your Honor, that this is my very first probation violation, but other than that, no, sir.
Okay. Ms. Underwood, before the court passes sentence, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of Mr. Bettis?
Absolutely, Your Honor. This is Mr. Bettis's first probation violation report, Your Honor. I've talked to Mr. Bettis. Mr. Bettis has the opportunity, Your Honor. He's talked to the manager, Bob Evans. They're losing employees to college, so they desperately he's been told that he has the opportunity the minute he gets out of jail to go to work. Mr. Bettis understands, Your Honor, the seriousness of what he did. I have the copy of the certificate of Mr. Bettis's completion of anger management in jail, Your Honor, and I can come up and present that to the court. In addition, I've talked to Mr. Bettis, and I don't believe Mr. Bettis has ever done the John Bailey domestic violence program. And I know that is available. Your Honor, we understand the RAP program, but we also understand that that puts Mr. Bettis in a very dangerous place as far as prison, Your Honor. We would welcome the opportunity for Mr. Bettis to be placed back on probation, complete the domestic violence program, get a job at Bob Evans, and start knocking out these fines and prove that he can do probation, Your Honor. This is a first violation. More jail and the RAP program are available if Mr. Bettis steps out of line, but we would hope he would be given that opportunity.
Mr. Bettis, is there anything you want to say on your own behalf before the court passes sentence?
I would just like to say, again, I apologize for wasting the court's time. I know that I'm not a familiar face in front of you, so I apologize for being in front of you yet again, and I would like to apologize to the community. And I take full responsibility for my actions. I should have thought about things before doing them. And Your Honor, I will be seeing Brene more when I get released too. She does anger management for the town.
All right, having reviewed the report, it is accurate that Mr. Bettis has extensive criminal history. Much of that involves assaultive crimes. He's convicted in this case of an assaultive crime. of domestic violence and or knowingly assaulting a pregnant individual, third offense. The probation violation involved assaultive activity. At some point, I need to do more than simply accept an apology and continue probation, or I don't feel that I'm doing my job on behalf of the community. And I think we're at that point in this case. Mr. Rez, you've had numerous opportunities to modify your behavior, and unfortunately, you haven't done that. So in my opinion, some more significant intervention is necessary. And I think that the RAP program in Eaton County is an appropriate intervention in this case. It is more intensive and will offer you programming, which I think is needed here. And so I am going to follow the recommendation. It will be the sense of the court that you serve 90 days in the Lenawee County Jail. You do have credit for 17 days served. You can be released early in order to enter and complete the 180-day RAP program in Eaton County. And you must have no contact with Alexia Nelson directly or indirectly for the remainder of your probation. You do have the ability to request an appeal of your sentence. We're going to send to you 3 copies of a notice of right to appellate review and request for appointment of attorney form. When you get that form, you need to sign one and return it to us. That just means you got your copies of those forms. If you want to appeal your sentence, you need to fill out the remaining portion of that form and mail it to the address listed in the form within 42 days. Do you understand that, Mr. Redis?
Yes, sir. I'm just not understanding so am I going to the program or am I doing 90 days?
You'll stay in jail until you're admitted into the program, and then you'll go into the RAP program.
Okay. I couldn't hear because this fan over here is like really loud.
You have any other questions?
No, sir.
All right.
Judge, if I
Okay.
could,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Judge, I just wanted to clarify for the record, with this RAP program, he must complete that or by the program rules, the court will issue a prison sentence if he does violate while he's in that program. Is that something that we can place on the record, or just some type of amended order that he must enter and complete the RAP program? That way, if something does happen, that we have that on the record.
Yeah, just so you understand, Mr. Redis, the RAP program is kind of a last opportunity before a prison sentence is assessed. And so your successful completion of that program will prevent you from going to prison. If you don't successfully complete that program, then the court would be entering a prison sentence.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. So you are all set for today, Mr. Redis. You can let the officer with you know that you're done with court.
Okay. Thank you.
Candy Ostrom. Ms. Underwood, Mr. Evans, Mr. Case was here, but he brought cash to make a payment, so he was sent out to get a money order and bring that back because you can't accept cash.
Thank you for the update, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you know
Thank you.
how much he was bringing?
Do you know how much that
It
was?
was a $200 transfer fee.
Oh, that's right.
So it wasn't for child support.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Thank
sorry.
you.
Your Honor, I am in the building, so when Mr. Case gets here, I can come up.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Aycock, are you ready to proceed with Mr. Forbes Lovett?
Good morning, Your Honor. Yes, we are ready whenever the court is.
All right, so this is file 25-22219-FH, People versus Jacob Valentino Forbes Lovett. We are here today for sentencing in this case. We are proceeding today by video conference. Ms. Aycock, would you like to place your appearance on the record?
Certainly. Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Leslie Aycock on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Forbes Lovett, who's present to my right. Can you please state your name?
Jacob Forbes Lovett.
And we both consent to Zoom this morning, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Forbes Lovett, I do need to advise you that this is a sentencing hearing in a felony case. You do have a right to be present for the sentencing hearing. I would only continue today if you're willing to waive that right and continue by video conference. Are you willing to do that?
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right. Have you received and had an opportunity to read and review your pre-sentence report?
Yes, Your Honor.
And have you had an opportunity to discuss that report with Ms. Aycock?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney and the advice that she's given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or the relevancy of any of the information that is in the pre-sentence report?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Aycock, does the pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exist any known constitutional defects?
No, Your Honor.
And the probation officer has calculated the minimum sentencing guidelines to be from 0 to 11 months. Do you agree with that computation of guidelines?
Yes, Your Honor.
Before the court passes sentence, Ms. Aycock, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of Mr. Forbes Lovett?
Yes, Your Honor, very briefly. I note that for the felony matter, it is a recommendation of probation, and for the misdemeanor matter, a recommendation of 93 days in jail. But just like the court to kind of be aware of some of the steps my client's taken since this event occurred several months ago. He has taken the matter quite seriously. He's on a really good path right now. He, at the time of this offense, and currently he works for the same employer. He works for tire shop in Flat Rock. At the time, he was, I'm going to say just a technician. He was just one of the guys that worked on the tires. He has, over the last couple months, he's shown such great promise. His employer, who is known to me, has promoted him to manager of that shop. He has also obtained his own residence. He is no longer, he was living in a place provided by his employer. He was really on some rough times. He's secured his own residence now, and actually he's assisting two family members that need a little bit of help getting on their feet. He's assisting them financially, having them live with him. He has returned to church. He went to church as a youngster. He's now 23 years old, hasn't been to church in quite some time over the last several months. He indicates to me that he has returned to church. He goes every Sunday. He goes to services early in the morning. He does work most Sundays, and he has found that returning to church has really put him on a better path, and that it's helped him kind of understand his decisions, and that he does answer to somebody beyond himself. So that being said, I would ask the court to consider that and consider all these steps he's taken, why he does understand the severity of these offenses. He is in a really good place, and we'd ask that he be able to continue with his employment, his residence, his belief in having faith in his life. And we would ask that there not be any jail sentence associated with this, or that perhaps the jail sentence be held in abeyance to the end of the probationary period to see if there's any problems. And then just the last thing is my client would request a payment plan for fines and costs. He indicates he could pay $500 today and then $200 a month thereafter.
All right, Mr. Forbes Lovett, is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf before the court passes sentence?
I would say that I've made some poor choices in my life, but I realized that I want a better path, make better choices than what I've done. And I realized what I did was wrong, and I put people's life in jeopardy. I do apologize for what I have done. trying to do better for myself and for others around me.
Okay. In determining the appropriate sentence in your case, the court has considered the seriousness of your offenses, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what's been said on the record here today. The criterion reasons for the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offenses, the discipline appropriate to their commission, deterrence against repetition, you and by others, vindication for the law and protection of society. Sir Forbes Lovett is 23 years old. This is his first felony conviction. He does have one prior misdemeanor conviction. In this case, convicted of one count of reckless driving, one count of fleeing a police officer, 4th degree. I appreciate that you recognize that you put people's lives at risk in this incident, Mr. Forbes Lovett. Having read the pre-sentence investigation report, it sounds to me that you are very lucky that no one was seriously injured or killed as a result of this incident. I've had the unfortunate occurrence to have to have sentenced young people in similar situations where someone did get killed, and it looks very different than what is happening today. Had something like that happened, you'd be going to prison today, without question. But you were lucky and it didn't. And so you are going to get an opportunity at probation today. And it's going to be up to you to determine whether you take advantage of that and continue to enjoy the freedoms that you will have while you're on probation, or if you don't, it will go in a different direction. I do think, having heard that Mr. Forbes Lovett is employed and is a financial resource for his family, I am willing to suspend the 93 days of jail. But otherwise, I think that the recommendation for probation is appropriate. So it will be the sentence of the court that you serve a period of probation for 2 years. This is with respect to both counts, subject to the following conditions. You must not use or possess alcoholic beverages or other intoxicants. You must not enter bars or other places where the primary purpose is to serve alcoholic beverages for drinking on site, unless the field agent has first given you written permission for your employment at a specific location. You must comply with the requirements of drug and alcohol testing as directed by your field agent. You must not attempt to submit any fraudulent or adulterated samples for testing. You must not hinder, obstruct, tamper, or otherwise interfere with the testing procedures, and you must present proper identification at the time of testing. You must not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia unless prescribed to you by a licensed physician, or be with anyone that you know to possess those items. You must complete a substance abuse assessment when you're referred by your field agent. You must not use any object as a weapon. You must not own, use, or have under your control or area of control any type or imitation of a weapon. And you must not be in the company of anyone that you know to possess those items. You must submit to a search of your person and property, including but not limited to your vehicle, residence, and computer, without need of a warrant, if your field agent has reasonable cause to believe that you have items which violate the conditions of your probation. You must not drive a motor vehicle while your license is suspended. Your driver's license will be suspended by the Secretary of State for 1 year. You must serve jail time of 93 days with credit for 1 day served. I will suspend that jail sentence to be served upon any violation of probation. You must pay a crime victims assessment in the amount of $130 with respect to the felony. You must also pay a supervision fee of $30 per month. That would be increased to $60 per month if electronic monitoring is required. That's not being required at this point. You must comply with the DNA fee of comply with DNA testing and pay a $60 fee. And you must pay $68 state cost for the felony and $50 state cost for the misdemeanor. also a $75 crime victims fee assessed on the misdemeanor.
I don't think he has to do that unless it's a different docket. Because the crime victims' rights fee is only for per docket.
I'm sorry, you're correct, Ms. Hall. So there's no crime victims fee on the misdemeanor. You do have the ability, Mr. Forbes Lovett, to request an appeal of your sentence. The court's going to send to you 3 copies of a notice of right to appellate review and request for appointment of attorney form. When you get that, you need to sign 1 copy and return that to the court. That just means you got your copies of those forms. If you want to appeal your sentence, you need to fill out the remaining portion of that form and mail it to the address listed in the form within 42 days. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Holly, when do you need Mr. Forbes Lovett to report to you?
Please report Tuesday between 8 and 10 a.m. I would like to know if he's done anything about that warrant in Monroe.
I am working on that, trying to figure that out.
Because if Tuesday you come in, I'm gonna have an officer come take you in. This is a statewide warrant.
Okay, I'll discuss that with him. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, so Tuesday between 8 and 10.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
All right, we're all set then. You can go ahead and log out.
May he make his first payment Tuesday when he appears at the court?
Sure.
Yeah, I apologize. The fines and costs can be paid at monthly over the course of the probation. I failed to say that.
Okay, wonderful. I'll have him make his first payment Tuesday then. Thank you so much, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I have a jail device logged in. If there's someone in that room, I need you to start the video. I'm going to send you a request to do that. Okay, then I also need you to unmute the device, and I just sent you a request to do that. Okay, Ms. Ostrom, I'm going to put you in a breakout session with Ms. Underwood.
Your Honor, I'm going to come up if I may.
Okay. Okay, this is file 16-18064-FH People versus Candy Lynn Ostrom. We are here today for a sentencing on a probation violation, and we are proceeding today partially by video conference and partially in person. Ms. Underwood, would you like to place your appearance on the record?
Ron Underwood for Ms. Ostrom this morning, Your Honor.
And you are Candy Lynn Ostrom? Ms. Ostrom, can you hear me?
The sound in there is really, really tough.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. You're Candy Lynn Ostrom?
Yes,
Ms. Ostrom, have you had an opportunity to read and review your probation violation recommendation report?
yes,
Have you had an opportunity to discuss that report with Ms. Underwood?
yes,
Are you satisfied with Ms. Underwood and the advice that she's given you?
yes.
Do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any of the information that is in your probation violation recommendation report?
I think explanation would probably be a better word, Your Honor. Concern I had when I read the report was that it makes it appear that the new charges alluded to were new, recent. Those charges, I believe, date back to around the time that Ms. Ostrom absconded. And there has been nothing new in the last few years, Your Honor. Ms. Ostrom resolved those charges with a misdemeanor plea. The felonies were dismissed, and she's being sentenced on that on September 3rd.
All right, anything else then on that?
I'm sorry?
Anything else in terms of corrections to the pre-sentence report?
So that was the only, I didn't feel it made that clear.
All right. Is there anything else then you want to say on behalf of Ms. Ostrom before the court passes?
Absolutely, Your Honor. There also is no mention in the probation violation report about what Ms. Ostrom has been doing the last 4 years, Your Honor. Ms. Ostrom moved to Lansing as part of treatment for her husband's cancer. She has worked for 4 years as the manager at a McDonald's, having child support taken out of her check and helping to support her family and obviously the medical expenses of her husband. She's not been out committing other crimes. She, Your Honor, welcomes this opportunity to resolve these issues And now she's got all the issues she had in front of her resolved. I think that placing Ms. Ostrom in any further jail on what is a non-sufficient check case at its inception would not be the best solution for anyone. Doesn't help the community, doesn't help Ms. Ostrom, who I think has proved by not catching the attention of law enforcement before now, Your Honor, that she can stay out of trouble and behave appropriately. Your Honor, we would ask that Ms. Ostrom be released to probation, and also, Your Honor, she has the ability and wants to set up regular payments of her fines and costs, which she did pay significant amounts on. And I believe that is mentioned in the probation violation report. So she will be able to pay those off in short order. I would ask that Ms. Ostrom be released, Your Honor, and given the opportunity to do that.
Ms. Ostrom, is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf before the court passes sentence?
Yes, I did write a letter and I would like to read it if that's okay.
Go ahead.
I would first like to express my regret for neglecting to properly change my address with the probation department. I apologize to the court and to the probation department for any disrespect. I would also like to offer an explanation, but for this, I would also like to recognize my responsibility. It is mine, and I need to be held accountable. I was under a lot of stress at the time, and I dedicated all of my time and all of my attention to my husband, who was trached and needed daily care. I know that's not an excuse, and I understand that, but that's where my head was at the time. Luckily, I've been able to retain my employment for the duration of this illness. I have been the sole provider for the past 4 years for us. I recognize that the daily stress that I face does not relieve my legal responsibility to the terms of my probation. And I know that they need to be met. I'm grateful to have had the time to mentally recuperate and hope to move effectively forward into a period of healing with my husband. As his health slowly improves, he will forever be trached, he will forever need care. And I am somehow blessed enough to have kept my job. My employer, who is wonderful, has followed me from jail to jail while we take care of all of this. I feel very blessed to have kept my job. I know that because of my accountability where I work, I know she misses me. I understand that I let my team down there. However, I need to be held accountable. I want to be able to pay the fee and the court cost restitution. I figured out that while I was sitting in here, if I made $100 biweekly payments, I should have everything paid off within 7 months. And I would just like to ask the court for leniency at this time. And I greatly thank you for all of your time and for understanding my part of my responsibility as well.
Judge,
Yeah.
can you hear me? Okay. She does have,
I
her
can't,
two new,
I'm having a difficulty hearing Ms. Walsh.
Your audio is not great. Can you try to speak a little louder?
I'm sorry, I had to get on my work cell phone. Can you hear me better now?
Not really. I need you to talk louder.
Okay. So her Jackson County cases are still pending. She has sentencing on September 3rd. So those are still new charges while she was on probation for the same things. So I just wanted to let you know those are still new charges.
What was the incident date on those charges?
5/23 of 21.
No.
Yep, the offense date was 5/23 of 21. For larceny, 200 or more, but less than 1,000. That's what she pled to. The original charge was financial transaction device, illegal sale use on one docket. And both dockets, actually. That's the reason I believe she absconded. She was on probation in Jackson. Jackson County was made aware of these charges at the time, and then she absconded.
All right, so this is a case, Ms. Ostrom has 30 prior felonies and 17 prior misdemeanors. In this case, was convicted of insufficient funds checks and placed on 5 years probation. She was incarcerated at the time of the sentence, and then stopped reporting in July of 2021. And court had no contact with Ms. Ostrom until August of 2025, when she was, at least for purpose of this filing, taken into custody on our warrant. And I appreciate there were some life difficulties that added stress, but it doesn't, to me, seem to justify having no contact whatsoever with the court, not reporting a single time, not a phone call, nothing. You just dropped out of participation in your probation. And while there are consequences to your life of imposing a jail sentence, there are consequences to the court of simply tolerating behavior like that and doing nothing and just going on as nothing happened, because now you want to come back and participate. It's clear that for a long period of time, you simply ignored your probation and didn't do anything about it. And given that amount of time, I can't come to the conclusion in my mind that you would participate again if released, based on your extensive prior history and what has happened in this case. And so it's going to be the sense of the court that probation be revoked and that Ms. Ostrom serve. I will, based on what I heard, reduce the amount of the jail. I'm going to go with a 6-month jail sentence with credit for 42 days served.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
6 months jail with credit for 42 days served. You do have the ability, Ms. Ostrom, to request an appeal of your sentence. We're going to send to you at the jail 3 copies of a notice of right to appellate review and request for appointment of attorney form. When you get that form, you need to sign 1 copy and return it to the court. That just indicates you received your copies of the form. If you want to appeal your sentence, you'll need to fill out the remaining portion of that form and mail it to the address listed in the form within 42 days. All right, you can let the officer with you know that you're done with court for today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Very much.
All right. Ms. Underwood, are you ready to proceed with Mr. Case?
I'm sorry?
Are you ready to proceed with Mr. Case?
This?
Okay. Okay, this is file 24-21827-FH, People versus Jeffrey Patrick Case. We are here today for sentencing. In this case, we are proceeding today partially in person and partially by Zoom. First, can I have the attorneys place their appearance on the record, beginning with Mr. Evans?
Good morning, Your Honor. Thomas E. Evans, appearing on behalf of the people of the state of Michigan as Special Assistant Attorney General.
Ron Underwood for Mr. Case this morning.
And sir, you are Jeffrey Patrick Case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Case, have you had an opportunity to read and review your pre-sentence report?
Yes, Your Honor.
You had an opportunity to discuss that report with Ms. Underwood.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with Ms. Underwood in the advice that she's given?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any information that's in your pre-sentence report?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Underwood, does the pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exist any known constitutional defects?
It does not, Your Honor.
The probation officers calculated the minimum sentencing guidelines in this case to be 0 to 6 months. Do you agree with that computation of guidelines?
I would agree with that computation, Your Honor.
Is there anything, Ms. Underwood, that you want to say on behalf of Mr. Case before the court passes sentence?
Your Honor, Mr. Case understands his responsibilities in this case. He has submitted the transfer fee, Your Honor, and I think probation to allow Mr. Case to make payments on his child support is appropriate in this matter, Your Honor, and we would ask that you institute that sentence.
Mr. Case, is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf before the court passes sentence?
No, sir.
And Mr. Evans, I apologize, I did not ask you if the people have any corrections, additions, or deletions to the pre-sentence report.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do have one, and that is in the amount of restitution. And I'm sure learned counselor, Ms. Rhonda Underwood, can tell me if I'm wrong, but it appears as though on May 24th of last year, the $10,000 bond was converted to a friend of the court payment. And there have been a few other small payments since the complaint was issued. And according to MISIS, on August 26th, the outstanding restitution was in the amount of $40997.34. So about 10K less than is in the PSI, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Underwood, I would presume you have no issue with that correction.
No,
Okay. Anything else on that issue, Mr. Evans?
No further additions, deletions, or corrections, Your Honor.
Okay. And are the people aware of any prior convictions in the report that have any known constitutional defects?
The people are not, Your Honor.
And do people agree with the computation of the minimum sentencing guidelines?
They do, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything then, Mr. Evans, that you would like to say before the court passes sentence?
Your Honor, I would first of all ask, and logistics wise, I cannot maybe see if the victim, Mandy Clark, is present on Zoom or in the courtroom.
I don't believe so. You are not Ms. Clark, are you? Okay. No, Ms. Clark is not here.
Thank you, Your Honor. Then I would ask that the court enforce the agreement, and while it's commonly stated that someone can't work and make money while they are incarcerated, in this case, although I am certainly asking the court to give Mr. Case a shot, I will note that if he screws up, what's God's is God's, the rest belongs to Caesar. I will be asking for incarceration, as he paid $10K when he was in jail and needed to post bond, which dwarfs the amount that were paid during the entire lifetime of his son, Your Honor. And I would just note that for the record. Thank you.
All right. In determining the appropriate sentence in the case, the court has considered the seriousness of your offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what's been said on the record today. The criteria and reasons for the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offense, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, vindication for the law, and protection of society. I will say, in addition to the pre-sentence investigation report, I have received a victim impact statement from Ms. Clark. I have read that and considered it in crafting a sentence. Mr. Case is 43 years old. He has no prior felonies. He has 2 prior misdemeanor convictions. Has been convicted in this case of failing to pay child support. Having reviewed the pre-sentence investigation report and believing that the important thing in these cases is to get payments, I do think that the agreement that's been reached between people and the defense is appropriate. So I am willing to follow the recommendation, which is consistent with that. So, Mr. Case, will be the sentence of the court that you serve period of probation for 3 years, subject to the following conditions. You must not use or possess alcoholic beverages or other intoxicants. You must not enter bars or other places where the primary purpose is to serve alcoholic beverages for drinking on site, unless you first have your written permission from your field agent for your employment at a specific location. You must comply with the requirements of drug and alcohol testing as directed by your field agent. You must not attempt to submit any fraudulent or adulterated samples for testing, hinder, obstruct, tamper, or otherwise interfere with the testing procedures, and you must present proper identification at the time of testing. You must not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia unless prescribed to you by a licensed physician, or be with anyone that you know to possess those items. You must use prescription drugs only as prescribed to you by your licensed physician. You must complete mental health, domestic violence, battery, or other intervention as recommended, or other recommended treatment following your assessment by a qualified community-based provider. You must not use any object as a weapon. You must not own, use, or have under your control or area of control any type or imitation of a weapon. You must not be in the company of anyone you know to possess those items. You must submit to a search of your person and property, including but not limited to your vehicle, residence, and computer without need of a warrant. The field agent has reasonable cause to believe you have items to violate the conditions of your probation. You must pay restitution in the amount of is the $800 restitution, Ms. Holly, something?
Yeah, that's for the extradition charges for the
Okay.
AG's office.
All right, so you must pay restitution to the Attorney General's office in the amount of $800, you must pay a crime victims assessment in the amount of $130. There's a $30 per month supervision fee. That would be increased to $60 per month if electronic monitoring is ordered. That's not being ordered at this time. You must also pay a $750 court cost. It can be paid at the rate of $21 per month. You must comply with DNA testing and pay a $60 fee and a $68 state cost. You must also pay restitution, the outstanding child support in the amount of $40,997.34. You have the ability to request an appeal of your sentence, Mr. Case. The bailiff is going to hand to you 3 copies of a notice of right to appellate review and request for appointment of attorney form. You need to sign 1 copy of that. It just indicates that you received your copies of those forms. Okay, if you want to appeal your sentence, Mr. Case, you'll need to fill out the remaining portion of that form and mail it to the address listed in the form within 42 days. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, the record should reflect I do have a copy of the notice of appellate rights form signed by Mr. Case, and I have placed that in the file. Is there anything else we need to address today, Ms. Owens?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thanks, then, and thank you, Mr. Evans. You can go ahead and log out.
So.
Oh,
I
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Counselor.
Are you still with your parents at the Summit Street
Yes.
address? And then, so report, Mr. Moore does the interstate cases, he needs you to report Wednesday morning here. There's paperwork you gotta sign.
I can't do that today.
No, because we haven't even got the probation order done yet, it just happened, so that's gotta be done, so by Wednesday morning,
Oh,
between 8 and 10, you want to, yeah.
okay, yeah.
So is your phone number the same too? Is it still 740-360-6847?
No, it's 740-244.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on, Mr. Case. I don't want you to say the rest of your
Are
phone
you in
number.
public?
Yeah.
Oh,
Good morning, Mr. Hagglethorne. We're just waiting for the prosecutor to get logged in.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning. We're looking for icicles. I think so. Is he? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like.
We never seen this.